Good evening, Cement Shoes. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Pretty in camo. I'm here on time for once. Jill, good evening. Good evening to you and Pretty in Camo. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Hope we're all relaxing. New Year's Eve night. See, it's probably 8 o'clock on the east coast of the United States, 5 p.m. on the west coast. Steph, Pigeon Mac, good evening. Kitty Q, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. I'm glad you could all be here with us tonight. Inner Peas, good evening. Glad you could be here with us tonight, Inner Peas. Hope everyone is staying safe for New Year, staying inside. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing this. I'd rather do this than go out there on the road. There's a lot of dumb people drive around at night after they've had a couple or a few too many. We'll give it about another 2 minutes here, and then we'll get the trivia going. All the questions tonight are on John Wayne Gacy, the Killer Clown. Killer Clown. I had actually finished up this trivia night a couple weeks back, and then decided to do a different one for Thanksgiving. Susan, hello. Hey to all. Hope everyone has a safe and happy New Year. You as well, Susan. Lemon Pie is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Lemon Pie. I hope everyone has a safe and happy New Year. Another minute and 30 seconds, and we'll get this going. I got my beer, LOL, right here at home. The kids are sparkling juice, and I have pans and spoons ready for them to wake up the neighbors at 12. Wow. Yeah, I'm sure later on we always hear the idiots who light off fireworks, and some dumb people always I'll read in the paper tomorrow who went outside and pew 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 pew. They shoot their guns off in the air, for New Year's, but they don't think, hey, what goes up must come back down. They don't think about that stuff. Now the 30 seconds. I live in a pretty quiet community, though. I don't think it's going to be too loud around here. But it always ends up in the paper. Somebody else ends up starting a brush fire or lighting off fireworks, or they do something stupid. All right, let's get this up and going here. Who has ammo to waste? Right? At these prices, and lift my left foot off the floor. So you start 2024 on the right foot. Da-da-da-da. That's pretty good. Pretty in camo. All right. Killer Clown. If I can get this thing up and running here. Trying to, there we go. I put myself in the little window in the bottom here. All right. This is our 276. That is how many trivia nights I have done so far. 276. There's a whole playlist on my channel if you would like to watch it, if you're new here. All right, viewer discretion is strongly advised for all the content you may see and hear on this channel. Not all the content that I provide on this channel is meant for all audiences. It is certainly not meant for those under the age of 18 and by 13 by law. I have to say this warning because of the different platforms that I stream to, which are 5 different ones besides YouTube. But viewer discretion is strongly advised. All right, outline of the game we're about to play. We are only playing for fun. No one is better at this game than anyone else. If you want to use phone a friend, use the internet, the search engine to look the questions up and the answers up, go right ahead. It's only cheating if you consider it cheating. I don't consider it cheating. I strongly advise you to ask anyone. Ask your spouse, your brother, your sister. Yell out the window to the person on the street. Run inside the AM PM if you're sitting in your car and ask them. All right, anyways, ask anyone you want. Hateful and degrading remarks towards another person playing this game will not only get you timed out, but it'll get you banned and removed. You get 3 of those, and YouTube will shut your accounts down and block you from opening up any new accounts. And that's a serious issue. You don't want to screw with the largest search engine in the world. You don't know what Google and YouTube is capable of doing. All right, theft of any of these questions that you see are screenshots of these questions used without direct permission from me will be reported to the sites they are used on as theft of intellectual property. I'm not playing games with people anymore. If they want to steal my content, there's going to be repercussions of it. As of December 1st, all the questions and the did you know questions are the sole property of me, the owner of 411 Now, and my studio, Delight Studios LLC. And yes, that's a real business, and that is the business name. These questions are not exploitive of victims or the families. These are only for educational and entertainment purposes only. All right. With all that said, let's get the first question up on the screen for everyone. Question number 1 of the New Year's Eve special, killer special. John Wayne Gacy confirmed victim count is widely believed to be what? Is it A, 22, B, 33, C, 44, or D, 55? What is John Wayne Gacy's confirmed victim count widely believed to be? Cement shoes right away with 144,000. All Daybell books. Pigeon Mac. P. We got Jill's going with B. Pigeon Mac B. Steph B. Left-handed RN. Good evening. Left-handed RN and Eddie Haskell. Good evening. D. 55. Good evening, Eddie Haskell and Left-handed RN. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I'm glad you could both be here with us. I hope you both have a safe and happy New Year. John Wayne Gacy's confirmed victim count is widely believed to be what? He was the OG. It. Moonlight View. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Moonlight View. Moonlight View says reluctantly B. Smoke them if you got them. All right, the correct answer is B as in boy, 33 is the widely confirmed victim count. The problem is with confirming the victim count of John Wayne Gacy is they can only find the ones that have been attributed to him that were buried underneath his home on the property and ones that he admitted to throwing into the river. Now, That comes to 26 in the crawl space. 4 that were he threw in the river, and 3 more that he buried in the yard or under the garage. But 33 is widely believed of what the number is, if we believe he started killing at a certain point and did not kill before then. There is a lot of speculation out there that there may be approximately 7 more after he got out of jail the first time, but that would put it close to 40. But 33 is a widely accepted answer to what the confirmed victim count is widely believed to be. All right, question number 2. Gacy disposed his victims in more than one way. Do you know how many victims he buried in the crawl space under his home? Was it A, 26, B, 36, C, 7, or D, 18? And Ann, good evening. Elaine, Anna. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Sorry about mispronouncing your name there. But welcome to tonight's trivia. Got to lean forward a little bit so it's a little bit clearer. Gacy disposes his victims in more than one way. Do you know how many victims he buried in the crawl space under the home? Eddie Haskell's going with A, 26. Is that a little man? I think it is. Gacy disposes his victims in more than one way. I may have just given you the answer while talking about and giving you the answer to question number 1. The correct answer for question 2 is A as in apple, 26. 26 victims were buried in the crawl space under his home. 4 he threw in the Des Plaines River, and 3 more were buried in the yard or garage under the concrete pad for the garage. But 26 in the crawl space. Question number 3. One John started killing, he never stopped for any reason. As it says, it just got easier. So how many years did John actually kill? How many years? Is it A, 15, B, 10, C, 8, or D, 11? How many years did John Wayne Gacy actually kill? And Happy New Year to you as well, Moonlight View. Probably should say once. Once John started killing, he never stopped for any reason. As it says, it just got easier. So how many years did John actually kill? Green Camel going with 11. Lemon Pies, C. Cement Shoes, C. Jill is going with C. Lori, A. Lemon Pie, E. 1 for each season of the Jersey Shore. My God, how long has that been on TV? Left-handed RN is going with C. How many years did John Wayne Gacy actually kill? His murder spree. We know he has approximately 33 victims, but how long did it take him to kill all 33? It was a real situation. Oh, funny Pigeon Mac. All right, question number 3. The correct answer is A as in apple. From the very first murder to the last one before his arrest, it was a 15-year span. A as in apple. Although, again, That's only if we go with the ones that we can confirm he may have been killing even longer than that, but we don't have actual proof to that. Did you know? Oh, sorry. Question 4 is which one from below was not a name that John used as a clown for parties for children? Which one did he not use as a name, as the name of the clown for parties for children? Was it A, Mr. Bubbles, B, Pogo, C, Mr. Legion, or D, Moosehead the Clown? I've never seen the Jersey Shore, but it sounds like a dumpster fire. It is Cement Shoes. I've actually watched one just so I understood the jokes that everybody has been saying about the Jersey Shore and the situation in Snooki. I didn't know who any of them were, so I had to watch it. I watched an episode on YouTube. Yay. But which one from below was not a name that John used as a clown for parties for children? Snooki. Jill's going with C. J. Cow. Ronald McDonald, says Interpeas. He didn't dress up as Ronald McDonald. Although, see, Willard Scott, the actor and weatherman, he was once Pogo the Clown. Bozo the Clown. He was once Bozo the Clown. Photo Pomento with Bozo the Clown from WGN Chicago. But he was also Ronald McDonald. That's why I'm bringing it up, because the Interpeas said Ronald McDonald. Willard Scott did that, though. Jody Shore is better. All right, which one did John Wayne Gacy not use as a name for parties for children? The correct answer is A as in apple, Mr. Bubbles. Now, you all have probably heard of his alter ego, Pogo the Clown. That was his last iteration. The C and D, he dressed up as Mr. Legion and Moosehead the Clown. John Wayne Gacy was, unfortunately, he was a member of the Loyal Order of the Moose Lodge. It's a fraternal organization, which I just happen to be a member of as well. But he was Mr. Legion at the Clown at the Moose Lodge. And because there's a separate organization within the Moose itself, it's called the Legionnaires or Legion. Okay. And they take on projects. Just like there's the women of the Moose, there's the men's only group is called the Legion. But now the Moose, as a fraternal organization, is all one. But he also went as Moosehead the Clown. And with Mr. Legion, he actually dressed up in a clown outfit that was part clown, part of the fraternal organization's outfit. And with Moosehead the Clown, he actually wore like fuzzy antlers that look like moose antlers for both of those. But Pogo the Clown was his last iteration as a clown, that he would actually go to children's hospitals and birthday parties as, but he never went anywhere and was known as Mr. Bubbles. A as an apple is the correct answer for question 4. All right, question number 5. What were John Wayne Gacy's final words before he was executed? Was it A, I love mountain lions and the Jersey Shore? B, kiss my ass? C, I regret nothing ever? Or D, I'll be back. I'll be back. Like the Terminator. saddened me deeply that you know, to know that John Wayne Gacy was a member of the Loyal Order of the Moose. We do a lot of really good things. Legion is freaky name because it's a biblical term for a group of demons. Yeah. He sounds like a bee person. Sounds like you'd say that. And good evening, Mal, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I'm glad you could be here with us. Don't touch my stuff after I die. Which one did were John Wayne Gacy's final words before he was executed? I love mountain lions in the Jersey Shore. Kiss my ass. I regret nothing ever, or I'll be back. E, you can have my Beatles LPs. Boy, did people take that out of context, didn't they? All right, what were John Wayne Gacy's final words before he was executed? Question number 5. The correct answer is B, as in boy. His final words were "kiss my ass." The final words of John Wayne Gacy before he was put to death. Kiss my ass. Question number 6. Because the warden at Menard's prison, where Gacy was housed before death, was scared of him, what did he allow Gacy to carry at all times? Was it A, a small wooden bat 2 feet in length, B, a billy club, C, 2 sharpened knives, or D, a bag of broken glass? Because the warden at Menard's prison, where Gacy was housed before death, was scared of him, what did he allow Gacy to carry at all times? This will be a great trivia question for Will. Chad Daybell's books. How did I not see that one coming? That was a good one, Smith Shoes. What the fuck? It says Pigeon Mac. Oh boy. And yes, the warden was scared of him. Not only did he allow him to carry one of these objects around with him at all times. Oh my God. I just saw lemon pies. He allowed him to have herpes. Keys to the van down by the river. Oh boy. Oh, okay, I gotta stop looking at the comment section. Question number 6. The warden also allowed him to freely wander around the death row section without shackles or any restrictions other than leaving the building itself. And it got so bad that 26 of the inmates who were on death row or were doing life in prison without the possibility of parole actually signed a petition to to turn into the warden, and they sent it off to the governor, because Gacy just had basic free roam of the place, and he was getting special treatment. The Colorado mom has been caught. Sorry, off the topic. Oh, cool. I'm glad she's been caught, Kitty Q. Like he was seriously allowed to carry one of these. Yeah, he was. But the correct answer to this question, ladies and gentlemen, is C, as in cat. 2 sharpened knives. Now, these are not normal knives. They're knives used for painting. He carried his painting kit and a small wooden like boards that he used for painting. He carried his thing around with him everywhere. Now, a lot of people may be familiar with John Wayne Gacy's paintings of the clown, Pogo the Clown himself, that he did. But here's something that's even scarier. John Wayne Gacy, the paintings of clowns only accounted for about 5% of all the paintings that he did. John Wayne Gacy's most popular and what he did the most paintings of was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That was his most prolific actual subject matter. And everywhere he went, if he went to the mess hall, he carried his little box with the sharpened, painter's knives in it, and along with that, a little paint, little canvas, I guess you call it. It's like canvas on board. He carried that with him everywhere because he would paint instead of eating. He went out to wreck. He carried it out to wreck. He went everywhere with this painting kit, because the warden was afraid this, if they did anything to him, that he was going to be, even more of a disruption than he already was. And again, like I said, the other inmates actually signed a petition to send off to the governor and then one to the copy to the warden itself. Said, you got to stop giving this man, special privileges. So, but Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was his most popular. And incidentally, when those people gathered in the parking lot to burn John Wayne Gacy's paintings, only about a dozen or so of the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs paintings were ever burned. They're still out there to this day, along with some of, I would assume, some of the, him as Pogo the Clown. And regardless if you like the paintings or not, he was actually pretty good at it. As a painter, they actually look really good. But Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I can't believe how controlling he was, even in prison. Yeah, well, even in prison, it wasn't so much that he was controlling; it's that people were in fear of him. They didn't know what he was capable of doing next. And the warden was scared when he's just like, I don't want to be anywhere near this psycho. So he just let him wander around and do whatever the hell he wanted. All right, next. Did you know John Wayne Gacy's story, if it was ever to be written down and made into a movie script, Hollywood has already lit it. Movie and story about his life to be made. And all the ones that have been done so far have all been based off of stories that he either told or news articles about, that were news and, coverage around the actual time. No, Gacy never wrote out an actual autobiography, but Hollywood would have loved it, and they've already greenlit it. The very first movie studio who was searching or wanted an actual autobiography of John Wayne Gacy was Paramount Studios. They had the exclusive rights to, at one point, I don't know if they still do, but they had the exclusive rights to do an autobiography of John Wayne Gacy. And it was greenlit to already be done, but they never could get one. Even his siblings, well, half siblings, and his adopted, I guess technically adopted kids, even them, if they concluded it all together, it wouldn't be the complete story of John Wayne Gacy, because even if you go by the stories that he told, a lot of it is embellished, and a lot of it he downplays certain parts of his life and upplays other parts, and other parts he's like, I was set up, I didn't really molest that kid, and there's things like that you don't really know the truth of. So, Sprinkled Donuts, good evening. Happy New Year's to you as well. All right, next. Question number 7. At the Murder and Death Museum in Los Angeles, California, they have letters written by Gacy and letters sent to him. How many letters do they have at the Murder and Death Museum in Los Angeles, California? Is it A, 6, B, 21, C, 4, or D, 16? And good evening, Sherry. Happy New Year to you as well. Glad you could be here. Thank you for joining us tonight. The Murder and Death Museum in Los Angeles, California. If you're ever in the Los Angeles area, They are open 7 days a week. They open at 11 a.m. and they close most days at 7. I think it's $20 per person to go to into the museum. But the Murder and Death Museum in Los Angeles, California, has letters that Gacy wrote and letters that were sent to him. How many do they have? We got D's and B's. Eddie Haskell's going with B. Lemon Pie is going with B. Who else is going with B? Steph is going with B. Cement Shoes and Jill all going with B as well. B or D seems to be the most popular answer so far. At the Murder and Death Museum. I've never been there, in case you're wondering. I just happened to look at, when I was looking up this information, I remembered it, and I wrote down in my notes here. They open at 11, they close at 7 on most days. Sundays, they close at 5. I should have probably said that in case you guys want to go tomorrow, if you want, if you're in the Los Angeles area. Humans are filled with morbid curiosity. This is true. Can't believe people sit around and writing to killers. Well, Cement Shoes, I have. But I did it more out of, like Lemon Pie said, morbid curiosity. Well, Mel said morbid curiosity. But as soon as the person I have written to, Gary Ridgway, told me that he wasn't going to talk about his crimes, I'm like, there's no freaking reason for me to ever want to. Those people who write Christopher Watts make me physically sick. Oh, he's got a lot of pen pals. A lot of them. What is the psychology of those folks who write people like that? I don't know the total psychology behind it, Lemon Pie, but after this question, I'll answer part of it. Question number 7. The correct answer is B as in boy. They have 21 letters. They have 11 letters written by John Wayne Gacy out to other people, and 10 more that were written into him that they got from his family, who gave or sold them, or however they acquired them, people writing to John Wayne Gacy. All right, now the psychology behind why people write, serial killers. I don't know the answer to that part, but I do know why people do fall in love with serial killers and contact killers and people who are never going to get out of prison. A lot of it, and this goes for men and for women, but more for women than men, is they feel that they can have a relationship with someone who's never going to physically hurt them, because maybe they've been physically hurt before. They're never going to be cheated on because they always know where that individual is. They know where they're going to be. They're not going to come home drunk and beat on them, or find out that they're stepped out with their best friend. So it's a safe bubble of a relationship, and they can communicate with these people in that aspect. That's the psychology behind that, and that's not for all of them. That's for a large majority of them. There are others, though, who are interested in the psychology, which I'm interested in. Is more of the psychology of, like, why do these people kill? What makes them, after they did the first one, what made them want to do with the second, the third, the 15th, the 33rd, or whatever the total number might have been. The psychology, is definitely, interesting to why people do the things that they do. At the time of the murder spree, I lived in only a few blocks from Jack Langer's drugstore, where he did remodeling in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wow. I never lived I lived in Milwaukee, but I never lived near where Gacy was, but I did live just down the street from Jeffrey Dahmer. I was just a little kid, though. I mean, I don't remember ever seeing him, but the apartment complex that he lived in was down the street, from where I lived. Right? Why kill again? All right, question number 8. While in prison, John found he had a lot of time on his hands, so he picked up 2 hobbies. Besides painting, what other hobby did he have? Was it A, singing, B, writing poems, C, making gift cards for inmates, or D, playing the guitar? Tammy, howdy, howdy. Oh, all you criminal manics, howdy, howdy. Do you say that like Nate does? Howdy, 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 howdy. Welcome though, and Gamma, Jamma, Jamma. Almost got me there. Jamma. Good evening, Jamma. Square dancing. Eddie Haskell's going with D. Happy New Year from the UK. Well, Happy New Year to you, Gemma. Reading Daybell's prophecies. Oh boy, what a nutcake that man is, and a terrible writer, I might add, on top of it all. Pigeon Mac. While in prison, John found he had a lot of time on his hands, so he picked up 2 hobbies. Besides painting, what other hobby did he have? Question number 8. Lemon pie. Dwarf tossing. Oh. That's bad. We shouldn't laugh at that. He could have given Lori Vallow makeup tips. Nobody tosses a dwarf. Unless you're on the movie Jackass. All right, question number 8. The correct answer is C as in cat. And it's an actual cottage industry behind bars. They can't buy gift cards, so and holiday cards and stuff like that. So people make them, and they send them home. Gift cards, holiday cards, stuff like that. And postcards. It's all in a cottage industry. Whoever can draw, whoever can paint, they make these things. Now they're called gift cards. It's not like a gift card. You go into a store and swipe it and you buy it. But you can buy them online, like an Amazon gift card. And you buy it online, and then the receipt and everything else has a code on it that the other person then redeems online. So it is an actual gift card in that way, but it's not like a card like you swipe. But they do everything: letters, handkerchiefs, cards, posters, hearts, all kinds of different things. But the other hobby he did was he started making these things for other inmates, so they could send them home, and they would give him something in exchange, like commissary or whatever. I'll give you a ramen noodle or whatever the hell it might have been, that he wanted for it. Of course, gift cards make sense. Here's a skin cover tip gift card just for you, signed with a kiss from a corpse. All right. That is our first 8 questions, ladies and gentlemen. We are now on a break for the next 6 minutes. Take a break. How much for one rib? Pitching that. That's it. Ed Gein reference. Oh yes, killed. Oh yes, kill. And cups, bowls, and lamp shades. I'll give a dime. All right, but we're on break for the next 6 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Do whatever you need to do. Use the facilities. Go get yourself something to drink, something to eat. Go outside and play with your pet mountain lion. Whatever you need to do. Just pour a little Pepsi in my hand. Ed Gein was he's a crazy one, wasn't he? Dug up corpses and had sex with them. Is that still necrophilia? If you're digging up a rotten corpse and and having sex with it, maybe that's something else. But don't do meth, please. Right? Watch out for Yugos, mountain lions, and who are driving Yugos on meth. You broke Danny. Oh, did you? 5 more minutes. Gotta take my homemade bread out of the oven. Been waiting for it to get done so I could eat my homemade Maryland crab cake soup. Ooh, that sounds good, Tammy. I was watching Luke. What is Luke's last name? I can't remember what his last name is. McFadden. He's a crabber from over there, Maryland, Virginia, someplace. But he went to and did a video on crab cakes from like the cheapest price point all the way up to like this really expensive, like $250 crab cake. Huge. Maryland crab soup. But Luke is a YouTuber, in case you're wondering. I think it's McFadden. Yes, it is, no matter how much they stink. Oh, no, lemon pie. I'm not a drinker, but my fiance has changed me to 5 shots of peach crown royal, and my typing fingers is totally dysfunctional now. The house smells divine. I bet it does. Making me hungry. Maryland crab soup. Is it like a bisque? That sounds really good, like a crab bisque. But I don't care for the taste of crab. Ooh. There's some people out there who just don't like it. That's all right. Mel, I mean, my wife won't eat any seafood at all. No fish, no seafood at all, ever. It does sound wonderful, doesn't it, Susan? You don't care for lobster? The sea spiders, lobster, sea spiders. I live on the coast, and it's a tomato-based soup. Oh, okay. Kind of like a spicy vegetable soup with Old Bay. I love Old Bay seasoning. And crab meat. Oh, yeah. Old Bay. I put Old Bay on everything. I put it on French fries. I put it on everything. I love Old Bay. You won't eat seafood either, cement shoes? We got 1 minute left, ladies and gentlemen. 1 minute left. Break. Love crab and shrimp, though. Yeah. Everybody likes what they like. Some people don't like crab. Some people don't like lobster. And then there's people who don't eat any seafood or anything like that at all. I'm not even allowed to have fish or anything in my house. My wife can't stand the smell of it. Doesn't matter what it is. So whenever I want something like seafood or fish or something like that, I got to go out to eat, which doesn't mind me one bit. I grew up fishing, never cared for shellfish. Grew up with fish, grew up with fish, never cared for shellfish. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our break is over. Our break is over. Question number 9. Excuse me. How many murders have been committed between the years 1970 and 2000 with a killer dressed as a clown? Obviously, this is not a John Wayne Gacy question, but I threw it in anyways because it fits. How many murders have been committed between the years 1970 and 2000 with a killer dressed as a clown? Is it A, 18, B, 36, C, 144,000, or D, 16? Question number 9. I won't let my husband cook liver in the house. You don't like liver? Liver and onions? I grew up eating liver and onions. It's just something my dad always made. He loved liver and onions. Cement Shoes, Kitty Q, Jill, and Steph, and Sherry are all going with B. Eddie Haskell's going with A. Thanks, Susan Weaver. I've loved it since I was a kid, and we have it a couple times a year. Mel is going with B as well. Question number 9. How many murders have been committed between the years 1970 and 2000 with a killer dressed as a clown? Mel loves liver. I'm very allergic to shellfish, says Sherry. Sorry about that. Sorry that you are. I like some shellfish. Not something I eat all the time, but I love oysters. Do politicians count as victims? I don't know. It all depends on who they are, Tammy. All right. Question number 9. How many murders have been committed between 1970 and 2000 where the killer dressed as a clown? The correct answer is B as in boy, 36. You may be wondering, when was the last one? It was May of 1990. An ex-wife killed. This took place in Florida, of course, but the ex-wife showed up at the new wife's house and killed her, and she was dressed as a clown. That was the last one. The irrational fears that people had for so many years about clowns that were, people were dressed up as clowns and were spotted along rural roads across America or in town running down the streets. They did it more as a joke. But 1990 was the last time someone dressed up as a clown and actually committed murder. But there have been 36 of them from 1970 to 2000. Grew up on the Oregon coast, so it was sad. Love the Oregon coast. Love being over there. All right, next one. What was the average age of all the known victims of John Wayne Gacy? Was it A, 16, B, 18, C, 21, or D, 17? What was the average age of all of known victims of John Wayne Gacy? Piss off, clowns. You remember hearing about that, Mel? People dressing up as clowns? Yeah, that was a thing a couple of years back. But it was just people pranking and pulling jokes on each other, dressed up as a clown and to be spotted somewhere or scare people on the road. Eddie Haskell's going with C. Jill A. Cement, Pigeon, Mac, and Steph are going with B. Sherry going with A. What was the average age of all the known victims of John Wayne Gacy? Question number 10. Male's going with D. Lieutenant RN, A. Kitiku, B. E. Old enough to not slip out of handcuffs. Slip out of handcuffs. Yeah. That was one of his things, is he loved to bind, handcuff them, tie them up while they're sitting in a chair. Oh, it's just a joke. Let's see if you can get out of this magic trick. But he always drugged them first, so it made them so they couldn't fight back. All right, question number 10. The average age of all the known victims of John Wayne Gacy. The correct answer is B as in boy, 18. The youngest one was, I think, 14, and the oldest one was 22. But if you average them all out, it turned out that the average age is actually 18. 18 years of age is the average for all of his victims. Question 11. When police went to Gacy's home with a search warrant, what clue made them search the crawl space? Was it A, bloody fingerprints on the crawl space door, B, footprints, C, foul odor, or D, just a normal part of the search? Beware of political clowns that use drugs, and I don't mean Hunter Biden. Jill, the 10RN, and Tammy are all going with C. When police went to Gacy's home with a search warrant, what clue made them search the crawl space? Pidge, Mac, and Sherry are both going with C. Cement Shoes is going with C as well. Question number 11. When police went to the home with a search warrant, what clue made them search the crawl space? The correct answer to question 11 is C as in cat. A foul odor was emitting from the crawl space. You could smell it when you're outside the home and in the home itself. But yet his wife said, I never noticed it. Yeah, there are 23 dead bodies underneath your home, lady. And even though he did pour lye over the top of them, it still didn't kill the actual odor of it. Foul odor is what made them search it. I'm back. Internet crashed. All right, Gemma. Glad you can make it back. Next, did you know? In an interview with ABC News, John said if he could be out of prison and free, he would like to move where to start over. He would want to move to Chicago, Illinois to start over if he was ever to be released and free. Chicago, Illinois. His wife was a tweeb. In the UK, under a tornado weather warning. Well, really? Wow. I hope you stay safe, Gemma. Question number 12. When police realized at first they didn't have enough evidence to charge him with murder, what did they arrest him for? Was it A, illegal porn, B, guns, C, stolen merchandise, or D, drugs? It's always drugs. Raccoon died in a field by my house. And the smell is pungent. Can't imagine dead humans, right? When police realized at first they didn't have enough evidence to charge him with murder, what did they arrest him for? Really windy here. Wind speed 70 miles per hour. Wow. Well, stay safe. I'm sure Chicago was delighted that he croaked. He was in and out of the Chicago, Illinois area quite a few times in his life. John Wayne Gacy. That in Peoria. He was all over in the state. But he liked the Chicago area. Sherry's going with C. Mel's going with D. Left-hand RN's going with A. I'm home and plan to stay indoors. There you go. When the police realized at first they didn't have enough evidence to charge him with murder, what did they arrest him for? The correct answer to question 12, ladies and gentlemen, is D as in dog. John Wayne Gacy was arrested for possession of marijuana and other drugs, illegal drugs. He had LSD and he had a bunch of pills on top of it all, but marijuana, D as in dog, is what they arrested him for. And then the search of the home began. And that's when they found all the dead bodies. But he was arrested on drug charges because he was connected to the disappearance at that time of 14. They believed only 14 victims may have been murdered. But they quickly, when they started crawling out of the house, the crawl space, they found a lot more. Beaver tranquilizer. All right. Next one. True or false? Once charged with murder, Gacy confessed to murdering 60 young men between the ages of 14 and 21. Is it A, true, B, false, or C, Mountain Lion and the Yugo was Snooky while they smoked meth? True or false? Question number 13. Once charged with murder, Gacy confessed to murdering 60 young men between the ages of 14 and 21. I remember reading that cops were following him and he gave the gas station clerk a bag of weed. He also, there was one time he was being followed, cement shoes, where he knew he was being followed. And he actually walked up to the car and told them where he was going. He knew he was being curtailed, towards the end. That is true. Snooky rides in the truck. I'm blocked. I've never been blocked. I don't know why you're not seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'll read them all. I'll make sure I see them all. Every pitch and Mac one that I see, I'll read it for you. Tammy says, I see you. Steph is going with A, Jill B, Sherry A, Mel B. True or false? Once charged with murder, Gacy confessed to murdering 60 young men between the ages of 14 and 21. The correct answer to question 13 is B as in boy. False. Although you will find quite a few different instances and websites out there that says that John Wayne Gacy started confessing once he was charged with murder. That is absolutely false. He did not start confessing to anything right away. He said he was innocent and that he was set up for all of it. He admitted to one murder and he said it was in self-defense that he committed that one murder. but he didn't confess to killing 60 men, young men between the ages of 14 and 21. But there are quite a few different websites out there, and I know of at least 3 different trivia sites I found that answer on, that he had confessed to killing 50 or 60 young men. Not true. Absolutely not true. All right, next. Believe it or not, not all of Gacy's victims were homosexuals. Some of them were married young men, married to women. How many married men were there? Was it A, 5, B, 8, C, 7, or D, 10? Mel says that he confessed to using Chad Daybell's portholes. Believe it or not all of Gacy's victims were homosexual. Some of them were married young men, married to women. How many married men were there? Question number 14. Smith Shoes are going with 5, and we got A, Jill A, Eddie A, Steph, Kitty Q, A. Who else is going with A? Sprinkled Donuts is going with A. And Pigeon Max says he's checking to see if he blocked you by mistake. Sherry and Mel are both going with A as well. How many married young men were there in Gacy's murder spree? Question number 14. Question number 14. The correct answer is A as in apple. 5. There were 5 young men who were married. And when you look at all of the victims, 5 of them were married and they all had female wives. Does it mean that they were bi-curious? I don't know. But they were definitely, according to their spouses, their widows, they weren't gay at all. But Gacy didn't care. He found himself attracted to young men, and if he decided he was going to kill them, he killed them. Does the reporter who killed himself count as a Gacy's victim, Will? Well, if Gacy made him do it, then it would. But I'm going to have to go with probably not, Tammy. All right. Did you know, besides managing KFCs and running a successful construction business, John also was successful as owner of a janitorial company and a set designer for a local theater. The picture you see here is of John Wayne Gacy and Rosalind Carter. That is Jimmy Carter, the former president's wife, Rosalind Carter. But he also worked and owned a janitorial company and a set designer for a local theater. Besides running the KFCs, managing the KFCs, and having a successful construction business. Question number 15. So Gacy wanted a trial, not only to prove his innocence, but he wanted people to see who he was. When did his trial start? Was it A, January of 1980, B, February of 1980, C, March of 1980, or D, in the year 2525, will man still be alive? Y'all remember that song? I'm sure you do. Zager and Evans in the year 2525. No, I don't have Kitty Q on block list. I don't know what the deal is there. the late Miss Carter. Yep. In the year 2525, will man still be alive? In the year 3535. What year did John Wayne Gacy's trial start? C says cement shoes, pitching Mac. D, LOL. Sprinkle donuts, go with C. Eddie C. Kitty Q B. Jill C. Sherry B. B, on my birthday, February 6th. E, whenever Adam and Eve sold out of dual dildos. Tammy. When did John Wayne Gacy's trial start? Mel's going with B. All right, question number 15. The correct answer is B as in boy. On left-handed RN's birthday, February 6, 1980. B as in boy, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sorry that happened to be on your birthday, left-handed RN, but that's when John Wayne Gacy's trial started. Question number 16. After the trial concluded, what was the verdict handed down to John Wayne Gacy? Was it A, not guilty, B, not guilty, insanity, C, guilty, all counts, or D, mistrial? Samantha's going with C, Jill C, Sprinkle C, and Kitty Coo is going with C as well. After the trial concluded, what was the verdict handed down to John Wayne Gacy? Eddie, Steph, and Sherry are all going with C as in cat. C as in cat. Left-handed RN going with C as well. I still have that song on loop in my head. Zaggers and Evans. Year 2525. Clown court revoked his license to clown as Pogo, says Tammy. After the trial concluded, what was the verdict handed down to John Wayne Gacy? Mel's ringing in with C as well. The correct answer to question number 16 is, in fact, C as in cat. Guilty, all counts. All right. Did you know December 22nd, 1978, John Wayne Gacy admitted to the largest amount of his murders, all while he was lapping and sipping on a Pepsi. He admitted to killing 30 young men to police. Obviously, way later, but December 22nd, 1978, John Wayne Gacy admitted to the largest amount of murders, all while lapping and sipping on a Pepsi. He admitted to killing 30 young men to police. Question number 17. When was Gacy given the needle for what he was convicted of? When was he executed? Was it A, May 10th, 1994, B, June 10th, 1993, C, April 21st, 1992, or D, October of 31st, 1994? When was John Wayne Gacy given the needle? Question number 17. Submit's going with A. Lieutenant A. Eddie Haskell's going with A. Pajamac C? Question mark? Could be C. I don't know. Steph A, Jill C, Sherry A. When was John Wayne Gacy given the needle for what he was convicted of? Wisdom Seeker. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Wisdom Seeker is going with A, May 10th, 1994. 3 days after I turned 18, like a belated birthday present from the state of Illinois. Mel's going with A. When was John Wayne Gacy given the needle for what he was convicted of? Question number 17. Not soon enough, says Mel. Nope, that was definitely not soon enough. It should have been a lot earlier, but a lot of appeals took place in between then. Will, what was the connection between Gacy's execution and Jeffrey Dahmer? Oh, we were talking, Sprinkle Donuts, we were talking about Milwaukee, Wisconsin. When I was a young kid, I actually lived down the street from Jeffrey Dahmer, and I can't remember who said that they lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But question number 17, the correct answer is A as in apple. May 10th, 1994, he was executed. Oh, I think I get what's up. Would you be willing to tell Kitty Q that what's happened to me before, and it should clear up with upcoming updates? I'm on iOS, and YouTube does not play nice. I'm sorry about that, whatever's happening with your server there and possibly blocking people. But all right, next one. Question. Oh, that is, where the hell did question number 18 go? Well, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully question 18 is here. Try to go back. There it is. What year, question number 18, did they officially close the investigation into the murders and crimes of John Wayne Gacy? Was it A, May of 1994, B, June 22nd, 2022, or C, January of 1998, or D, never have closed it? What year did they officially close the investigation into the murders and crimes of John Wayne Gacy? Question number 18. I tell you the truth, Sprinkled Donuts, I don't know the answer to your question. If it was the same day that he was found guilty, or if there is a connection there. But that's what we were talking about with Gacy and Dahmer earlier. But D, the never have closes seems to be a lot. What year did they officially close the investigation into the murder and crimes of John Wayne Gacy? Question number 18. Mel Stiller going with D as well. What year did they officially close the investigation into the murders of John Wayne Gacy? Question number 18 of 18. Obviously, the last question on the trivia for tonight. What year did they officially close the investigation into the murders and crimes of John Wayne Gacy? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer to question number 18 is D as in dog. The investigation into the murders and crimes of John Wayne Gacy has not been closed. There is still I think one or two victims that have never been positively identified. I know one of the victims they believe is one person, but they haven't been able to positively identify that person through DNA. But until that happens, they cannot close the case. Additionally, when it comes to actual serial murders and crimes, in most states, all but two, Washington, D.C. and Virginia, those are the only two states, that I know D.C. is not a state, but we're counting anyways. But D.C. and Virginia are the only two states that do not close a case upon the ending of the life of the actual murderer themselves. All the rest of the United States, if the federal government executes that individual, their case is closed. The crime is done. They stop investigating anything that happened with that individual. There might be other people who decide to do it on their own, investigate what other crimes this person may have committed, or what other crimes they may have, been part of. But when the actual perpetrator is executed, they close the case. It's closed then. But in John Wayne Gacy's case, they haven't been able to identify at least one. Had to dope up my Mastiff. The fireworks and gunshots are getting her wound up. Oh, I'm sorry, Tammy. Oh, crap, Pitch Mac. LOL, I got you. I'll pass it along. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the 18 questions for tonight. Let's say goodbye to some people who we lost this past year. In 2023, we lost all of these: Jeff Beck, Lisa Marie Presley, Robbie Knievel, that's Evel Knievel's son, Lloyd Morissette, you might know him as one of the co-creators of Sesame Street, David Crosby, Coach Ford, he was also a basketball player himself in his own right, Cindy Williams from, Seville, Savazel, Haslett, Corporate, the Laverne and Shirley, Burt Brockback, and Linda Kay, my friend from here on YouTube, Tom Sizemore, Richard Belzer, Raquel Welch, Bud Grant, the Hall of Fame, I should put Hall of Fame in there, but Hall of Fame, Bud Grant, coach of the Minnesota Vikings NFL football team, Gary Rosen from Leonard Skinner, Lance Reddick, Walter Cole, a.k.a. Darcella XV, Benjamin France, Gordon Lightfoot, Hall of Famer Jim Brown, Gary Springer. We were just talking about Gary Springer a couple weeks ago, but he's been gone for a while. So yeah, he is still married technically, I guess, to his wife. Harry Belafonte, Andy Rourke of the Smiths, the band, Tina Turner, and Ray Stevenson. Additionally, we also lost the 40,000 innocent victims to gun violence in the streets of America. That doesn't count the school shootings and mass shootings, or victims of improper gun storage that took the lives of 2,110 children in 2023. The Price is Right, Bob Barker, William Friedrich, director of the classics Exorcist and The French Connection. We also lost My Lost Shaker Assault, Jimmy Buffett. Steve Harwell from Your Rockstar Smash Mouth. David Cullum from NCIS. That was Ducky on NCIS. Michael Cameron, Hall of Famer Dick Butkus, Susan Summers, Richard Roundtree, Bull from Night Court, Richard Mull. We also lost Matthew Perry, Norman Lear, Henry Kissinger, and Hall of Famer Bobby Knight. So how did you do on tonight's trivia? Obviously, that's not an all-inclusive list. There's a lot more that we lost in 2023. But how did you do tonight? 14, 18 right? You don't have to do this. This is completely optional. We are doing the trivia for entertainment and for fun only. I like to mourn the loss of my sanity, too. Rest in peace to Tammy Sanity. Shaft that didn't know he passed away. Lost my mind in 2023. Please find it, says Mel. I don't know where my sanity went. I lost it a long time ago, if I ever had it. I got a B. My parents would be proud. All right. Since it's obviously really easy to find the last page, this is from Serial Killer Calendar. This day in killer history. It's obviously the last entry in the book. December 31st is John Allen Mohammed. December 31st, 1960 through November 10th, 2009. An American convicted murderer from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He, along with his 17-year-old partner, Lee Boyd Malvo, we just did trivia on them, carried out the Beltway sniper attacks in October of 2002, killing 10 and injuring 24 more people. Muhammad and Malvo were arrested in connection with the attacks on October 24, 2002, following tips from alert citizens. Although the psychopathic attributes to a serial killer characteristics, whether or not their psychopathic meets the classification or that the spree killer is debated by researchers. Again, great book. And of course, you can start it all right over again with January 1st, tomorrow. I lost a friend this year, too young. Oh, I'm sorry, Pigeon Mac. We lost 2 friends this year, says Jill. I'm sorry. Sorry you lost any friends. I have lost track, ladies and gentlemen, how many friends me and my wife have buried, said goodbye to in this earthly plane in the last 3 years. In 2023, we laid to rest 9 friends in 2023. It just it seems like the older we get, the more other friends are going to the wayside. Some of them were health nuts and took care of them, their body and their mind and their spirit, and they went peacefully in their sleep. And others, we lost one in a car accident. It happens. None of us get out of this life alive. None of us are guaranteed a tomorrow either. So just remember, as you go on with your day tomorrow, and you start a new year. Tell those who matter to you the most. Tell them that you love them. Spend time with them. Even if you can't spend time with them, maybe they're incarcerated or they live out of state or whatever it might be. Send them a letter. The United States Post Office is still a thing. Our friends were policemen. I'm sorry, Jill. All those officers, who lost their lives in the line of duty, heart goes out to their families. I couldn't imagine doing such work, in law enforcement. I know, talking to my mother-in-law, my wife's dad was in law enforcement for over 40 years, and every time he walked out the door, she it was a strong believer in. She never knew if he was going to be walking back in through that door the next day, and that's what they live with every single day. It could be the simplest thing, pulling someone over for not making a proper stop at a stoplight. Next thing you know, their life is in the balance. They show up for a call for a noise complaint, at a home, or any call can turn deadly in a heartbeat. They were partners. Pete was shot in duty. February, Jimmy died in a crash December 5th. Double tragedy. I'm truly sorry for your loss, Jill. Little Mods chats, including Pitcher LOL. Thank you so much for. I have enjoyed each and every Saturday coffee, and your trivia nights with you. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We will see you all again, I guess, if you're taking off, Kitty Q, in 2023. I plan on doing these and continuing them as long as I can. If I'm physically able to actually do the trivia night, again, it'll always be Sunday. Now, you all might have noticed that this was at 5 p.m., at start time tonight, but, in 2023, I'm going to keep it at 2024, tomorrow. I'll do the coffee, crime recap show on Saturdays, and Sundays will always be trivia. My granddaughter, who is only 7, had her best friend die a year ago. She has been through too much. Oh, I am truly sorry, Susan. That's tragic when a child dies. For all those who lost, they'll always be with us. As long as you keep them in your hearts and your memories, Jill. That's all that matters. Merry 2024 to all. Thank you, staff. Appreciate it to everyone. None of us are guaranteed it tomorrow. So many people I know, carry grudges, and it eats them up inside. You let things eat at you like that, it just takes away from your enjoyment and the life that you have that for your here and tomorrow. To comfort those who have lost someone. Now, I'm still here. Just wanted everyone to know, to appreciate you all. Well, thank you, Kitty Q. I've got a list of over 40 different suggestions for trivia night for 2024, and starting in 2024, I'm gonna start checking off all the ones that I haven't done trivia on before. So, like this year, we had 3, John Wayne Gacy, nights in 2023, and there were a couple others that we did 2 on, and another one we did 3 on. But in 2024, we're going to start off with ones that I've never covered before. So again, look for the early trivia question. It's posted to my community tab every Monday by 10 a.m. Pacific Coast time. Life is a gift. Protect it. Yeah. I wanted to nominate Elliot Rod, juror for trivia. What did I do with my pen? There it is. Elliot Rod. It has been written down. Thank you. I will put it on the list, Cement Shoes. It wouldn't let me type his name. Block my original comment. It's strange. It's YouTube for you, ladies and gentlemen. There's certain things that they are changing what you can actually say, like in the community tab. Now, I understand exactly why they're doing it, and you'll see some of this content that'll pop up from time to time, and it'll say that it's a sponsored ad. Even by the way, I want to make sure this is absolutely clear to you, to everyone out there. Even if you use YouTube Premium, you are seeing advertised content by YouTube. All right, so here it is as from my perspective as a creator. I can go onto YouTube and I can pay YouTube to promote my content next to other types of content. It's called paid advertising. It's not an ad where YouTube Premium would block it, and I can actually check if I want to push it out more to YouTube Premium members or just have it go as it normally does. So on the next suggested or the next things down as you scroll down, you're seeing paid for content, even if you're a YouTube Premium member. But now, going back to why they're starting this crackdown on the community section of YouTube, and you'll see this stuff also pop up from time to time in your actual feed. What these TikTokers and these other people are doing is they're paying for ads for actual videos that are sponsored content they're putting it up there next to other videos, and they're redirecting the traffic, the people who click on that, they're redirecting them to their TikTok or their OnlyFans or their Instagram or their private website. It's a video, like I can make a video and then hey, this is who I am. I'm Joe Schmo, whatever. And then I tell people, if you want to check out more of my content, go check out my Instagram or my TikTok or my Twitter or whatever it is. And that person is paying YouTube to actually have that actual video there. And it's showing up to premium members and to non-premium members. Those who are not on the premium, don't have premium subscription like YouTube Red, they're seeing a lot more of them. What they were doing was they're also using the community tab to also promote content to drive traffic away from YouTube. YouTube doesn't like that. If they have your attention and they have you on their platform, they want to keep you here. They want you to keep on watching content because they make a buttload of money off of you and knowing what they know about you. Not the creator, but YouTube does. I love it when I see a new case in the trivia. I always learn new things. Well, that's good, Susan. I'm glad that you learn stuff from this. I try to make these these trivia nights as interesting as possible, and I try to put up new names, but I have to kind of keep a balance. Like this person is so obscure, from 1970 or 1990. That they were in and out of the media and news. People may not know them, but I got to balance that with what people actually want to do trivia on. If I make it too obscure, then people are like, yeah, I don't really like this. I don't know who this person is. But I try to break a balance between the two of them. Spelled Roger, L-O-D. Sure, Roger. And some of them though, it's really hard to do trivia on there's a couple of serial killers that I would love to do trivia on, but there's just not a lot of public, verifiable information about them out there. I've been asked to do a lot about H.H. Holmes. People would love for me to do a trivia about that. I mean, I've been asked that a lot, but or Mudgeon, his actual real name, H.H. Holmes. But what do you consider factual, in that case? Are you taking this historian's account of the murder hotel and H.H. Holmes, or are you going to the conspiracy historian side that thinks that H.H. Holmes may also be, the Boston, slasher, or he may have connections overseas as, the Jack the Ripper? Do you go this side or do you go to this side of the actual trivia? So, Roger, 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 Dodger. I had to write it stupid to get the comment through. And also in 2024 coming up, I have 2 more trivia nights where all of the trivia questions are being done by somebody else. We did one night where Cement Shoes did all the questions, but in 2024 I have 2 people who've already offered to do the trivia questions in 2024. Justin LD, Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year to you as well, Justin. It's like a Skeletor man. Appreciate the mix of crime cases that you discussed, Will. Well, thank you, Mel. Appreciate it. That was fun. Yeah. Did you ever do Elaine Sprinkled Donuts? Elaine Wuornos? Oh yeah, I've done her 3 times. 3. There are 3 different ones of her on the trivia night. Only serial killer I ever really truly felt sorry for, and it's not because she killed people. It I felt sorry for. I still feel sorry for Elaine because she was dealt an awful hand from birth. From the moment that she was born until she was executed. I mean, I guess at some point she had the conscious, and the ability to not kill, but not to strike back against society and people, but she didn't. You can't take all that away. But and she did kill innocent people, but at the same time, she was given such an awful hand. And if somebody else lived through that, and you put yourself into her mentally and physically in her shoes, and you had to live through that, how the hell do you even remotely have a chance in life? Wait, we can do questions. I want to be part of that. Look, Kitty Q. There's my email address. Fire me an email address to that one, not to the other email, but to that one. You have the other email, but to fire me an email to that one that says host. And let me know which one you want to do. It was over 100 years before I was born, but hey, it's a party. Elaine Wuornos for trivia. I meant, yeah, Elaine Sprinkled Donuts. I've done Elaine Wuornos' trivia 3 times. 3 in the 200. What? This is the 267th trivia night. I know I've done Elaine 3 times. I like obscure crimes and facts. I like obscure, criminals, people who've done some of the most bizarre things. You know, not necessarily murders, but to see, you have to look at it from my perspective. I've always been interested in psychology, probably as long as I've been, able to read. The where, you had like the Hardy Boys and magazines and books and Nancy Drew and stuff like that. I never was really a big fan of that. When I was in elementary school, I was reading actual like murder books. Just throw out like an author, but this is not who I was reading back then. But let's just say that it was like a murder book, as in something by Anne Rule. I would even as a little kid, I was reading that type of content because that the psychology is always interested me for some reason. I don't know why, but it always has. So I've always been in this in one headspace or another. I've always been interested in what makes people tick. Why do they do the things that they do? Why do they why does they kill one person? What makes them go out and do it again? Why kill the first person? What makes someone get to that point where they want to kill the first person or the 33rd person? In John Wayne Gacy's situation. What makes them continue to do it? That even as a child, you don't hurt other people, don't kill people. You know that that's wrong. But what makes people do that? She had a screwed up life. Oh, hell yeah, she did. Human behaviors are interesting. They are. I like to watch true crime because I've always been fascinated by the psychology of crime. Same here, Mel. Same here. It's like and I find myself going down these rabbit holes that, with like the dumb criminals, and I'm trying to learn about the background of some of these individuals who I mean, there are some people that I could put on the dumb criminal list and like start like like a hall or a wall of fame of dumb criminals. Like first arrest at the age of 13, and now they're in their 30s and they're on their like 24th or 30th of arrest, and it's all for dumb, stupid things. Like one guy got arrested in California not once but 14 times for I guess they have a machine where you put bottles in and you get money back for them. Or I think it was in California, maybe it was in Oregon. But there's like a grocery store where you can put bottles in. This man was going to places and stealing full bottles of like soda, draining them out, not even drinking them, pouring them out, and then getting the nickels back or whatever it is for the damn return on the bottles. Why didn't you just sell the soda that you stole? I bet that would be a hell of a lot easier to sell. Hey, look, I got a car full of soda. Want to buy a soda? Yeah, I know they're $1 in the store, but I'll sell you to you for 50 cents a piece. You get like 5 times as much as you would for their deposit. Wall of shame, not fame. Yeah. Stupid criminal shorts you do are funny. Oh, thank you, Pigeon Mac. They'll be returning, this coming year in 2024. They're not going to. I'm not going to do. I was doing three, stupid criminals per week, and that's going to change a little. It'd probably be only 2 dumb criminals a week. It's not that I've run out of dumb criminals. Oh hell no! I could do that. I could do a whole entire damn channel on just nothing but dumb criminals shorts. 60 seconds or 30 seconds videos on dumb criminals. I got a whole folder. You can't see it. It's underneath the monitor here behind the camera. But I have a whole folder that is just filled with dumb criminals and people have done dumb crimes. And I'm sure tonight's being New Year's Eve, there's a bunch of other people who are going to do some really dumb stuff tonight and get arrested for it. Oh Lord, so many dumb criminals. How to pick, right? I try to pick ones, man. And I'm surprised somebody hasn't done this. At least if they have, I'm not aware of it. But you could just do an entire channel on just dumb Florida man or dumb Florida woman, stupid criminals from Florida. And the reason why there are so many of them out there that people are known is because they have free access to criminal records. For the state of Florida, they have open lenient policies where you get arrested in Florida for doing something stupid. It's going to be on the evening news, and your mugshot and everything else is going to be on the internet in like an hour. What makes us become murderers? Why do we need to kill? Why do some people deal with the same situation completely different, and so on and so forth? Yeah, that's true, Mel. And that's the psychology behind it. What makes one person go this way and the other person go this way over the same circumstances? Oh my God, New Year's Eve day, dumb criminals bringing it in the wrong way. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure there'll be quite a few of them. I'll check the ink, like the ink blotter. That's what they used to call it, or on the record section tomorrow. Whew, boy, I'll have plenty of new ones to add to the list. I know I will, because it's almost 7 o'clock here, so it's probably that makes it almost 10 o'clock on the East Coast of the United States. They're just getting ramped up. Wait till the bars close and all those idiots start leaving home. They're leaving wherever they are, drinking, celebrating the new year. I'm so happy to be warm in my bed where it's quiet and I'm not amongst the crazies. Yeah, that's true. Where Pigeon Mac is, it is raining. It is 34 degrees and clear where I am right now. 34. At least it's not freezing. The dumb criminals, even and idiots out there are going to hit the roadway. Sure, the temperature will drop and there'll probably be slick roads on top of it all. There was a time in my life when I used to go out and celebrate New Year's back in my 20s. Not anymore. Stay inside, warm, good book, sit by the fireplace. That's going to be my evening. Doing nothing. Wife's off tomorrow, and then she goes back to work. Kitty Q, I celebrate. You celebrate your way, Kitty Q. I don't hold it against anybody if they want to celebrate it. I just don't. You just don't go out. Well, I don't go out either. I don't. New Year's to me when I was in my 20s was probably, hey, it's a great reason to get together with all my friends and have a couple of drinks. Yeah, that was New Year's back then when but as I got older, it's kind of like, not really into it. I get enough people who, I'm nice and warm in my house, not worried about New Year's celebration and feeling good about my quiet life. There you go, Mel. I've got a killer migraine, but my butt is parked in bed. Do you take anything for your migraine? Sprinkled donut? I take Maxalt MLT. Is what I take. I also have the extended relief one as well. That's it melts on my tongue. But I take Maxalt MLT for migraines. Yeah, I partied on my New Year's Eve, but those days are behind me. I wish everyone out there to have so much fun as I did. No thanks on the drunk drivers. Yeah. But there's enough idiots at this time of year out there the way it is. I hope your migraine goes away. Sprinkle donuts. Sprinkle donut. One donut, not donut. It's not plural. I love my husband, but he has been off for 2 weeks and he goes back on Tuesday. Don't want to be on trivia night. Yep, Kitty Q, my wife's been off for 10 days, 11 days, something like that. But she goes back on Tuesday. I love her. I love her, but days. Like, please. Cement shoes. I don't drink anymore. Yeah. Look after yourself, Sprinkle. Yeah. Well, we seem to be dropping people like flies right now. Went from 17 down to 10. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wish you all a happy new year. And I'm going to wrap this trivia night up there. I want to thank everyone who has been here and supported my content, either financially or just watching it or both in 2023. And I hope to see you and so many more in 2024. I look forward to these trivia nights. They're fun for me, and I love putting them together. So again, everyone, have a safe and happy New Year. I will see you on the flip of the calendar in 2024. Good night, everyone. It will eventually close. I got the wheel of death. So only thing I don't like about Restream is sometimes it doesn't want to close. Come on,